everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajwa. In this video, it's going to be all about gourmands. According to Fracom, a gourmand is any fragrance that smells edible, like a snack. It could be sweet, it could be savory, but it smells like something that you would want to eat, after your main meal. And I have quite a number of gourmand fragrances I've been loving lately. I'm not typically a gourmand girl until, about a year ago that I started developing my taste bud for gourmand fragrances, and I haven't looked back. So I have about 20 fragrances that I consider gourmand that I want to share with you. However, there's a twist to it. With this, I'm going to give you like literal gourmands. Sometimes I see some videos, and I see some certain fragrances being featured as gourmand, and to me, I don't really consider them gourmand according to the definition of gourmand by Fracom. If it is not like a literal snack, for me, it is about the snacks and the desserts. I don't really consider lots of, drinks gourmand. I might be wrong, but I don't consider lots of drinks, smelling fragrances gourmand, but that is just me. But before I do that, let me just briefly introduce you to a company that's reached out to me, and I'm so happy I'm doing this collaboration with them, just because one, the customer service of this company is amazing. As soon as they reach out to me and I agreed to do this collaboration, everything was so seamless, within like few days I have received this bag. This company is known as Tikhubs. I'll put them on the screen here. They are an affordable luxury replica website, and I just decided to go with something that I can use for my date night, nothing too chunky. I love me a chunky bag, but I wanted something I can use for my date night and all those, simple, small, cute minis. I love mini bags, and this is the YSL Gabi mini leather bucket bag. I love this. Look at how cute it is. Let me just put it back so that you know how small and cute it is. This is going to be good, because it's leather. It's leather, but it's very, steady, but then also very malleable leather. It is steady, as you can put it down, it holds. It doesn't have the teeth, but it still holds, when you put it on the table or something, you put it somewhere. It is beautiful. The quality, the stitches of this, there's nothing cheap about this. It doesn't look cheap, although it is like a replica YSL, Saint Laurent bucket bag. This is beautiful and cute. Just look at it, and it comes with a strap too. It is like detachable. If you want to use it with the strap, as a cross hand, you can use that. If you just want to take the detachable, strap out too, you can. But I don't know, for some reason I sort of like it with the chain strap. I can just do something fun with it, just probably hold it like this. I love how the gold also is not like super shiny, it is a replica, and I think this replica was done so well. So Saint Laurent bucket bag, the Gabi mini bucket bag, it is beautiful. This is not like a big bag. I'm aware that it's a mini, and that is why I chose this, but it's a mini, but very practical, very practical. It fits your phone, your, little accessories and girly fun stuff that you want to put, for your date night, or even for everyday use. I know a lot of people are like into super big bags. This is like small, cute. Putting it against me so that you know the size of this bag, and this is beautiful. I really do love this. So please do check out Tikhubs. Aside the bags, they also have other replica accessories like the sunglasses, and shoes and belts, so please do check them out, and thank you so much to Tikhubs. I'm so grateful for you choosing me to be part of this collaboration, and I hope we do more of these, because I really do love this one. I really do. So let's get to the business of the day, business of the day being the gourmand fragrances. And I'm going to start off with one that I personally don't consider a gourmand. However, it is a very realistic food, but a drink, smell. And that is going to be the drink Fanta. And in that scenario, I have here the Nostalg Expression, the Fourth by Paris Corner. This I'm not considering a gourmand because it doesn't come across as, savory or sweet, in the true essence of a gourmand to me, but it is a sweet, realistic Fanta smell. I know everybody know the smell of Fanta, that fizzy orange, fizzy drink, like the Sicilian Mandarin orange, and this is exactly how Nostalg Expression, the fourth, smells. It is very realistic. It is not like gourmand in my opinion, but it's a very realistic Fanta smell that has been able to, that was beautifully captured by Paris Corner. So that's going to be the first one. The second one, I would also not say it is like the true essence of a gourmand, but it also managed to capture the notes, of red wine, and that is my first brush with like anything red wine or wine per se in any fragrance, and that is going to be Brown Sugar by Fragrance World. This is like 100% artistic, take on a red wine. It's like a very realistic red wine scent. I always tell myself, if I were to be a hostess at a winery, this would have been my signature scent. It is a realistic red wine, like in an aged, oak barrel, aged in an oak barrel, smell with a powderiness. The powderiness is quite realistic. It gives you that, irisy baby powder, powdery, musky vibe. Plus the red wine is like the most realistic that you smell. It's not like sweet, red wine for the most part do not come across as sweet, but the scent is very realistic, and that is why I added it to the list, but to me, this and the Nostalg are not gourmands, but they are true realistic, in the sense of, a realistic, drink, and the first gourmand I'm going to talk about is going to be Almond Milk, and for that I have Veau Patisserie from Paris Corner. I think this is a very beautiful take on Almond Milk. It gives you that, warm, comforting, realistic, delicious, dense, satisfying, comforting, warm almond milk. That is essentially what this one is. It's going to remind you of almonds, but more specifically almond milk. It is beautiful, delicious, gourmand, like a very realistic, edible, in your face, literal gourmand, so if you're not into literal gourmands, this might be a little annoying to you. So if you're looking for the note of almond milk, this is going to be your best bet, at least to my nose, when it comes to a cheapie. So Veau Patisserie from Paris Corner, a typical realistic edible almond scent, almond milk scent. The next one I have on this list is going to be Blueberry Max, and this is going to be your blueberry muffin scent. Simple. It is quite simple. Blueberry and then vanilla and some musk, but you can just ignore the musk in this scenario. It is all about the blueberry and then the vanilla, giving you a blueberry muffin, scent. It is quite edible, but it doesn't give you as literal, gourmand as other fragrances on this list. It is still going to be that, blueberry muffin scent, very beautiful. So it's quite also unique. There are very few fragrances that has a note of blueberry that I have come across, and this is going to give you a realistic, girly, fun Blueberry Max, blueberry muffin scent. So Blueberry Max by the House of Arabiat is the second one, or the third one on this list. The next one I have here is going to be your literal butterscotch scent. It is a butterscotch with a twist, with a hint of, an Arabic style coffee, and that is going to be Vanilla Toffee from Swiss Arabia. It is fairly new, but I'm really enjoying this. This is your literal butterscotch, scent, that butterscotch toffee scent, quite milky, quite buttery, like a butter, and then some coffee, an Arabic style coffee. But I think the butterscotch sort of, overtakes this, for the most part. This is a literal gourmand, like literal in the true sense. If you don't want to smell like that, you need to be committed to some of these fragrances because they're going to remain same, throughout its wear. Most of them are quite linear, and that is going to be the case of this one too. As soon as you spray and you get that, coffee and then butterscotch, and that cardamom and walnut, it is going to remain as such throughout its web. It's a very beautiful literal butterscotch and then coffee with some, walnut and cardamom spice. When it comes to a literal vanilla scent, I'm going to go with Egba from Rasasi. This is a straight up vanilla scent. It is very dense. It's like a very intense, rich, macerated one. Vanilla is darkening over time, and that is going to be the case of Egba. This is a rich, dense, vanilla extract, scent. As simple as that. A very beautiful sort of, bakery vanilla feel, and that is going to be Egba from the house of Rasasi. It is realistic, although it has other caramel and other things. The vanilla takes precedence over every other note in this one, making it like a very beautiful straight up vanilla scent. Then I'm going to go with the note of milk. Milk can be a little tricky. Not everybody is into milky fragrances, including myself, until I tried Blanche Baked. And in the case of Latifah's Confession for Her, it is beautifully done, just because it is bossed with other woods and some florals, but the milk is keen. The milk is like the main character here. It is a very beautiful milky, like a warm sort of milk scent, boxed with the other florals and the woods, but the main character here is going to be the milk. If you are looking for a very beautiful, realistic milk note, I would say try her Confessions. It is not nauseating, and that is why I love this. It is a milk done in a way that I appreciate because of the addition of the other florals and the woods, but it's still going to be a realistic note of milk that is like super sweet. It's not like the super nauseating, annoying sweet, milk, but it is a very beautiful one. Then I move on to cacao and vanilla, and in this case I'm going to praise highly recommend Kisa Delicious by the house Paris Corner. This is a very beautiful, realistic, dark chocolate, but even the dark chocolate doesn't come across as bitter. Dark chocolate can come across as a bit bitter, but in this case, it is a very sweet, cozy cacao and vanilla scent, with some hints of, musk somewhere, but it's the cacao and the vanilla that takes, precedence over every other note. This is going to be your beautiful comfort food, like a drink. It feels like a heavy, dose of cacao drink, like with a heavy dose of, cream and milk. It doesn't feel light. It feels rich and resonant. It's like a thick cup of Milo, a thick cup of Milo with some, cream and some milk, it's very beautiful. So Kisa Delicious by Paris Corner is very delicious, and truly realistic gourmand. Next on this list is going to be a note. Okay, so let me discuss this one here. I might not be the only person who smells banana in this fragrance, when it comes to Empire Victor, the older formulation. This is a complex, vanilla scent with some woody nuance, but there is something aside the vanilla, the thick vanilla that this one is, it also reminds me of something like a banana. I remember the first time I picked this one up, I was with my daughter, and from previous experience, I don't spray around her. So I sprayed this in store, just to test it out before picking it up, and she was around. When we got back to my car, she said, "Mommy, you smell so good. Let me see what you have." I just showed it to her, curious, and for the first time, she said, "Can I spray this?" I was surprised because I felt this was like quite polarizing for a 7-year-old, at that time to sort of, and love it, so yeah. And she was the first person who mentioned that she could smell banana, and as soon as she said that, it has stuck in my head. I can really smell a very thick banana, esque vibe aside the beautiful vanilla. It is dense, rich, decadent, it feels like a dessert that's, just something wobbly, it feels like those wobbly, cakey desserts that you cut, It reminds me of this, I don't know the name, but these Japanese snacks, as soon as they pull it out of the oven, they sort of, it goes like jiggly, wobbly, that is the texture I find in this, it is quite dense and fluffy and banana-ish, with a very intense creamy vanilla, and that is going to be Empire Victor, the older formulation. I'm going to go with the note of biscuits, biscuits, and that is going to be Jarara from Latifah. In as much as I get an almondy nuance in this, it is basically like an almond, biscuit, and it sort of reminds me of the biscuit rich tea. If you are used to McVitie's, biscuits, I'm sure a lot of us know rich tea, and this one puts me in that, rich tea, biscuity vibe, Al Jarara from the House of Latafa. Very beautiful, although I still insist I get something banana, no banana, almond, I get something like a almondy nuance, but I also get that, biscuity vibe, which is like beautiful, and gourmand, and sultry, but not like super sweet. It is not as super sweet and super milky as I find in Veau Patisserie, for example. So Al Jarara is going to give you that, beautiful biscuity vibe, yes, and that is going to be it. The next one I have here is going to be your typical tiramisu sparkles. I have no idea how tiramisu smells, but the closest I think I could relate with this is a cinnamon roll, dipped in cake butter. That is what tiramisu smells to me, and this is a very beautiful, realistic one. As soon as you smell this, it gives you like a familiarity of the bakery, getting into a bakery shop or something. It's like very realistic gourmand, super foodie, gourmand scent. If you don't like super realistic foodie gourmand scents, tiramisu speculoos is not going to be the girl for you. This is a very beautiful, rich cinnamon spice, vanilla, butter. It smells like butter. There's something that feels like butter, to my nose. A very beautiful one. So a realistic tiramisu, although I have not smelled that, it gives me that cinnamon, butter vibes, and I love this. Next, obviously, is going to be the banana Bliss, and this is going to be your realistic banana scent, although the banana really doesn't really last throughout the wear of this fragrance. Now it has improved, but it still probably needs to improve for a while, but I do get a realistic banana scent, like a banana pudding, sort of vibe. I'm just hoping that over time I'm still going to smell the banana for a longer period than it, vanishing after like 1 hour or even 40 minutes, but this is going to be a realistic banana, spicy, sort of, buttery sort of feel, at least for the next 1 hour until it settles down and becomes something like, it smells like a Waffle House, There's something about this that reminds me of a Waffle House, yeah, but it's a very beautiful, realistic banana scent. So banana Bliss from the house, Paris corner. I'm going to go with another one here, and this is going to be your savory kind, and that is going to be Kismet Angel, fashioned after the good old angel share. This is like your savory apple pie, realistic one. It's very beautiful with the vanillas, and the boozy. This is like a typical gourmand, but it's more savory, not super sweet. That is like super, unisex smelling than a lot of these ones. Most of these ones can be a little, feminine, but this one is like super unisex in my opinion, because it is more savory than sweet, although there's a sweetness to it. It is very beautiful, rich, apple pie, there's nothing more to this than apple pie scent, that reminds you of Christmas or festive vibes, and that is going to be Kismet Angel. The next one I have is going to be the note of coconut. I'm not really a fan of coconut smelling, fragrances, but I like how this one was done, when it comes to Blooming Bliss from the house Afnan. I like the fact that the coconut in this one is brushed with so many other things like the woods and then the vanilla, although the vanilla is like, a little more quiet and shy in this one. It's more of a unisex, coconut scent to me. I find this one a lot more wearable than a lot of coconut scents I have come across, This is going to be your toasted coconut, scent. It is more of a baked coconut, scent, and I prefer this over the suntan lotions type of coconut scent. This is a very beautiful one. It's going to be your gourmand, but not your in your face, gourmand one that a lot of men will appreciate also. So for the notes of coconut, it's going to be Blooming Bliss from the house of Afnan. Then I'm going to go with the note creme brulee. For this list, I'm going to go with December Vanilla. This is your creme brulee with some patchouli and some boozy rump, but you really get a creamy creme brulee scent, It's very beautiful, very decadent, very gourmand. A gourmand with a twist, like an Arabic style gourmand. You know, you need to love unique scents, you know, like unique, matured, dense, intense, mysterious, you know, sort of scents. It doesn't come across as playful at all. This is a very beautiful one, you know, but it's I think the note of creme brulee is what, you know, makes this one super gourmand, coupled with the vanilla, you know, and the rum, the boozy nature of this one. This is super decadent, you know, and creme brulee realistic one. So December vanilla. I'm going to go with the note of caramel, and for caramel I'm going to go with Casablanca from Swiss Arabia. That is going to be your spiced, loud caramel with some vanilla and some apple scents, you know, but the caramel take precedence over every other thing. It is quite loud and sharp, you know, and intense. Casablanca is not for the faint of heart, you know, in as much as a lot of people say it is like delicious and gourmand, I find it quite, you know, harsh for some, you know, at some points. It is not for the faint of heart. You need to be committed to it, because Casablanca doesn't go anywhere. The caramel is like super strong and loud, you know, and piercing, like sugary piercing, you know, to my nose. But it's a very beautiful one, you know, once it maturates and you begin to really get into it. So for the notes of caramel, I'm going to go with Casablanca. Then I'm going to go with the note of marshmallow, and for marshmallow I'm going to go with Ansam Gold from Latafa, and then Oriana from the house, Alhambra. You know, Ansam Gold has that marshmallow, you know, fluffy whipped cream vibe, just like the Rina from the house Alhambra. I guess that Rina is more citrusy at the top, whilst Ansam Gold, you get more of that dense, rich, milky marshmallow whipped cream, you know, vibe. Both are very beautiful, giving you almost an identical experience. But I think when it comes to these two, I would say Ansam Gold gives me more of the marshmallow than Rina, because Rina is more of the citrusy one, you know, but they both are very marshmallow forward, you know, fluffy, girly, fun, you know, marshmallow fragrances, and that is going to be for the note of marshmallow. Another ultra realistic fragrance I want to mention here is French Coffee from the house Rehab. That is like the most realistic straight up coffee scent I have ever come across. French Coffee. It is like nothing but coffee, nothing but your sweet, you know, coffee with some milk, you know, nothing more to it. There's absolutely nothing more to it but coffee and then milk. And it's a very realistic coffee scent. It can be a bit overwhelming to people because you get nothing but coffee. I just prefer to layer French coffee with other vanilla just to give it some, you know, character and avoid smelling like a literal coffee, you know, but it's still very beautiful on its own. And then the last one I think I have here is going to be Pear Potion from the house Paris Corner. It is nothing but a crisp, tart, sour, beautiful, you know, refreshing, delightful pear scent, you know, very realistic pear scent, nothing but pear, a very juicy but, you know, tart, you know, sour one, refreshing, beautiful. Pear Potion is very beautiful. It is also one that I will not consider necessarily like gourmand, but it gives you a realistic pear scent. If you are a Ghanaian or Nigerian, I know you have come across the drink Alvaro, you know, that pear scent. That is exactly how Pear Potion smells. It is nothing but Alvaro, you know, the drink Alvaro. A crisp, you know, tart, you know, refreshing, delightful pear scent, you know. And yeah, I think those are 19 or 20 fragrances, you know, that I think are super realistic and gourmand, you know, in my opinion, that I have in my collection that I want to share with you. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and please do not forget to check out Tikhubs. I have a discount code with them, that is Ajwa. My discount code with them is Ajwa. That is going to give you 25% off, you know. So please do check them out, you know. And thank you so much for your time here, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.